Democrats must realize that any one Democrat who has received or taken money from AIPAC have by extension taken money from white supremacists and the KKK. I honestly can't remember the video that I clipped this from, but I just made a video on my other TikTok account talking about corporate interest controlling Democratic leadership and my deep frustration with the fact that what is holding the Democrats back from being an opposition party against fascism, from effectively defending the American people against the Trump regime and the Republicans, is corporate and foreign interest, is billionaire money, is dark money, is AIPAC money. If you think that Chuck Schumer's decisions and actions over the last couple of days are not motivated by the airline industry, I think somebody in the kitchen is making popcorn maybe. I don't know how much of that gets picked up. We have a very small house and the kitchen is like right off my bedroom, and my bedroom is right off the kitchen. Anyway, if you think that Chuck Schumer is not motivated by the airlines breathing down his neck to reopen the government, yeah, think again. And really, this is the crux of the issue, that the United States, however much it has always been controlled by wealthy people, men who seek to exploit the planet and exploit regular folks in order to increase their wealth and power, like that's always been a factor. We still have had this American ideal of a country of, by, and for the people. And I don't think it's unrealistic to grasp that dream. I don't think it's unrealistic to strive for and achieve that dream. I think the election of Zoran Mamdani is very telling that we are seeing the political center and left in this country very much shift toward a left-leaning populism. You cannot deny the consequentiality of a Democratic socialist being elected mayor of New York City over an incredibly well-funded establishment Democrat who is backed by billionaire money, comes from a family that's basically a New York dynasty, was originally endorsed by former President Bill Clinton and a number of other very powerful, influential people. Zoran Mamdani beat Andrew Cuomo. And honestly, I don't really think that, maybe somebody else from New York can correct me here, but I don't actually think the issue was that much that Andrew Cuomo is a repeated sexual harasser. I mean, that wasn't a deal breaker for Bill Clinton endorsing him in the primaries. It wasn't a deal breaker for all of these wealthy New Yorkers who are like, we're going to leave the city if you guys don't elect Andrew Cuomo. Yeah, okay, well, that's very telling. There's a guy who is going to put the wealthy above the people. He's going to put corporate interest and billionaires above the people. And New Yorkers saw through that. They were like, okay, but Zoran Mamdani, here's a guy who says that he actually cares about us and actually has policies that will help make our quality of life better and make our city more functional. And there's a lot of ways that Mamdani has already put his money where his mouth is, right? Look at the taxi strike issue in New York. Look at the fact that he's hired an all-woman transition team. And I think they're all millennials, like they're young women, highly skilled, highly respected women. He's already starting to do the right things. I think we need to not put Mamdani up on a pedestal, right? Because lots of people are going to be working to try and undermine him. And no politician is going to be perfect. No politician is going to be able to do all of the things they want to do. But I think that the electorate has an appetite for more candidates like Zoran Mamdani and less of a tolerance for corporate establishment Democrats, less and less tolerance for neoliberals who pay lip service to caring about the working class, but at the end of the day, they will do things like take money from big crypto and then vote for Donald Trump's corrupt crypto bill because they know that they can't say no to the folks who gave a shit ton of money to their re-election campaign, even if their vote is undermining democracy and is harming their constituents. We can't have that conflict. I do appreciate that my congresswoman says we need to overturn Citizens United. I think the people, again, are going to have an appetite for that. I think we are at this pivotal moment in American politics where so many folks are seeing the devastating consequences of having a government that is basically run by dark money, foreign money, billionaire money, and how much it is hurting all of us. And it can't continue like this, right? I've said since Donald Trump got elected, like, oh, we've now reached the final boss of capitalism. This is a logical consequence. This is a path that we were on. This is the consequence of Citizens United. This is the consequence of Reaganomics. This is the consequence of having Chuck Schumer, DNC leadership, Hakeem Jeffries, Nancy Pelosi in the pocket of corporations and taking millions of dollars from AIPAC. They are beholden to their wealthy donors, not to the American people. And that was not going to be sustainable because it was harming us. It is harming us. And I do think it will get worse before it gets better. But I think it has solidified in us that like we can't, this is not something that we the people are going to tolerate. And I realize that I am informed by my anti-capitalist position. I don't think that neoliberalism will ever work. Capitalism is never going to be our salvation. It's going to be the way that a lot of fuckers get real rich and think that they're doing it in a way that's like not super ethically compromised. But when you have a system that prioritizes profit above the planet and above people, when you have a system that is inherently extractive, it is never going to be sustainable, and it is never, ever, ever going to be ethical. Dark money, billionaires, foreign money, they have their own motivations, and I promise you, they are not motivations that will ensure our welfare. They won't provide for our domestic tranquility. They won't provide for our quality of life. They want us to be cogs in the machine that are helping them consolidate their wealth and power up here. But ultimately, at the end of the day, the people have all of the power. We far outnumber them. And if we come together and we organize and we wield our power as one, yeah, we can undo all of the harm that has been done by the super rich. And we're at this moment where more and more people are getting on board with that vision. More people are realizing, I have a little measure of power. How can I link it to your measure of power? How can we come together? Right? We're all just like a drop of water, but at the end of the day, if we all come together, we're like an entire tidal wave. We have to get dark money out of our politics. We have to tax billionaires out of existence. The kind of men who can amass extreme, obscene quantities of wealth that we could never spend in 10 or 100 lifetimes. Well, 42 million Americans have to have government assistance in order to feed themselves and their children, while millions and millions of our elderly live in poverty. Folks like my friend Rosemary, who I met with this morning, who are barely making rent, require assistance in order to feed themselves, are taking cans in for deposit in order to buy groceries and pay their bills. It should not be this way in the United States of America. The super wealthy don't care about our children. They don't care about our elders. They don't care about us and our quality of life, and they sure as fuck do not care about the planet. As long as billionaire interest is driving our politics, we're going to be in a real pickle. But I think that people are waking up to that realization. And honestly, like, this is part of the reason, I know I got flack for it, but this is part of the reason that I think that dark money, opaque money, money from billionaires, money from foreign interests should not be in our politics, and it should not be in the new media. I think I said this the other day on Blue Sky, but in the last 2 months, I've been approached by a couple different organizations who are like, come join us and we'll just give you some money to keep doing what you're already doing. We just want to help you be able to continue to tell your stories and like raise these certain issues. And I was like, there's no such thing as money without strings attached. And I was like, hey, could you tell me where your funding comes from? And it's always like, oh yeah, this is the source of our funding. And then I look at it and I'm like, okay, but who are the PACs that are donating to that organization? And then like, who is putting money into those PACs? And for me, if I can't trace it back, I'm not fucking taking your paycheck, because I know that there will be an ask at the end of the day. I'm not signing your contract. Because as an anti-capitalist, and I realize that other social media creators, people in the new media, like they don't have the same beliefs about capitalism that I do. I realize there's plenty of neoliberals out there. There's plenty of people who have no problem taking dark money, and that's fine. That's fine. That's your choice. But for me, I don't want to be put in a position where I have to compromise my beliefs about what will be best for the American people. I don't want to have signed a contract where then I'm expected to like endorse a candidate in the midterms who takes AIPAC, right? Who is run by billionaires. I don't want to be controlled by billionaires any more than we already all are in this country. I make my living off TikTok and YouTube, 2 platforms that are controlled by billionaires. And I'm punished for it on TikTok because I say things that are not in alignment with the platform's political and financial goals. I just so strongly believe that the way out of this is that we have to tax the rich. We have to have reforms so that our elected representatives actually represent us and our best interests. Not foreign countries, not the super rich, not people who are actively out to harm us. And I think that people are realizing that. I think that is a good thing for us to be organizing for the midterms. And it is a worthy goal that we can actually achieve in this country. We do not have to be beholden to the billionaires. We do not have to be beholden to foreign interest. We do not have to be beholden to dark money to run our entire system. Plenty of other countries don't do it that way. But it takes us, the people, organizing and deciding what kind of future we want and then working for it.